What's happening, guys? I'm Kobe Chow here with Craig McCoy, and welcome to our latest Tuesday training, where every week we bring to you a live training from lead gen and AI all the way to business planning and goal setting.
You have the new version and the old version. We collaborate to make it awesome.
If you want to join and jump on the next Tuesday training, join our school platform below. It's completely free. Click the link below, and we'll see you there.
How's it going, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Got Craig and I with Michael Hankerson here, our Arizona broker. Going to be briefly going over social media and kind of what Michael's been doing to crush it on the link competition. Speaking about that, let's go ahead and just do a quick update on that. Just looking at our Airtable here. We just updated it about 30 minutes ago. Michael Hankerson is leading in first place by about 1,000 points, a little over. So that's one of the reasons he is here is because he's been posting consistently anywhere from like 50 to 80 times per week on all of his different platforms. And so all those points have accumulated to roughly 3,500 points. Thank you guys for participating in this and being so active on it. I think the longer we go on, the more people are starting to post and attend these meetings. So super cool to see that. I know that Michael has a presentation to just briefly go over his social media strategy and what he's been doing to get so much content out there, as well as a little bit of AI and ChatGPT on how he's been training his own account to help him optimize in getting ideas. So I'll kind of let you take the reins on this, Michael. I know you have a presentation you want to briefly go over, and then we can kind of do a Q&A and just ping pong back and forth.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say thanks to Kobe and Craig for doing this contest, because this time of the year is when I always do something to try and better myself. So a few years ago, I got my broker's license this time of the year, and last year I got my mortgage broker's license this time of the year. So having this content and focus, or this contest, and focusing on trying to produce a lot of content without taking a ton of time is something to give me something to do during the holidays. So I really appreciate this contest. For me, what I've found was important was doing videos to gain credibility. And so sometime around 22 or 23, I made a goal of producing one video a month. And I don't like being in front of the camera, and I'm not a great editor. So that was a big goal, but I actually exceeded it. And sometime during that process, I went from one YouTube channel that had less than 100 followers to 3 YouTube channels that have at least 2,000 followers each. And in 2024, I increased my goal from doing.
Oh, I think we lost him. Michael, can you hear us?
In about 4 hours, I was able to shoot, edit, and post the video and the blog to about 18 different places. So I was producing a whole bunch of content. I didn't meet the goal of one per week, but right now I've got 60 videos on about luxury homes that are over $5 million. And the only way to get there when you have zero in the beginning of 2022 or 23 to 60 today is just to consistently get out there and shoot the videos, produce them, publish them. And now if somebody said, are you in the luxury home space, I could show them 60 videos of homes that are over $5 million. And even though I've never sold a home over $5 million.
This is just
This isn't bad for a tech.
The goal I have for this contest is one video per day, which seems kind of almost impossible. So what I did is I added a couple of tools. One is ChatGPT. I could maybe, whoops.
You want to share your screen?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, and then I pushed the wrong button.
No worries. And you did break up a couple of the times there. I just want to reiterate or clarify that you said you have set up niche pages, right, to target certain audiences, and that has helped you kind of get into different spaces. If people do ask you if you're in the luxury space or neighborhood specific areas, then you can kind of use those as examples.
Yeah, and um
And I can share my screen if you, oh, there we go.
so I have to, let me see if I can get.
And
So
are you using AI to do all these videos, or are you just shooting them and editing them yourself?
I'm using AI. In fact, so these are I don't know, am I sharing the right screen?
Well, we're seeing your.
Looks like your avatar's there.
Yeah, those are my avatars. So what I did is I went out and I tried a
What's
whole
that?
bunch of different avatar companies. In the beginning, I was just adding uh, a, a an avatar, a female avatar talking, explaining what we were seeing as we walked through a luxury home. And as part of this contest, I wanted to actually be the one doing the talking, but I hate being on video. So I shot um, 4 videos in different clothes and uploaded it to a whole bunch of different platforms. And the results from Synthesa are not great, but they are um, better than everybody else at this point. And I can create a video where I'm talking for 1.5 to 3 minutes in about an hour. Um, because Synthesa takes a long time and usually the video doesn't come out right the first time. But I can create something in about an hour that is me talking, and even though it's not perfect, it has a bunch of quirks. I think it's going to get better in the future. So right now, I just want to produce content like why Scottsdale, why McCormick Ranch, uh, why should you use a realtor instead of going into open houses. I now have videos about all of that stuff, then blog posts, and it's posted all over social media. So Synthesa is the thing that I'm using to create those videos.
Go ahead and show us one of these videos you're talking about. Like, is that you as Santa?
Yeah, that is me. Let me see here.
Are you able to play some of these just for fun?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to I don't know if the bandwidth is good enough to play a video, but I can do one.
Have you
And so
done
what I
any
do is I shoot
Sasquatch
it on a
videos?
green screen.
Yeah.
Um,
And so the setup for this, first of all, is this a subscription-based website? Do you have to pay for this?
yeah, I've got to pay about $80 a month. So see, I look a little goofy there with that weird smile, but I think that Synthesa will get better, and then I can just rebuild my avatars and hopefully look a little more natural. If you move when you're shooting the video, you then start flopping your arms around. So basically, I'm standing perfectly still when I shot the video and created the avatar. So it looks fake, but
Hi, I'm Michael Hankerson with the Hankerson Team Luxury Division. If you're not familiar with McCormick Ranch in Scottsdale, here's why so many people end up wanting to live here. McCormick Ranch is one of Scottsdale's most established and desirable communities. It's known for its lakes, mature trees, and long green belts that stretch for miles. You can walk or
And then
bike
what is the
connected
go to
parks,
the
coffee
finished
shops, and
product?
local restaurants, all without.
what?
What does that look like on the finished product side?
And kind of a follow-up question to that. So you have to have a green screen in order to use this website and shoot it?
No, not at all. I just
Okay.
did it because it when it removes the background, so you can put any background in you want. I am choosing to um, I'm choosing to so here's the finished result for Y Scottsdale. Oh,
Long-term value. Let me paint you a picture of what makes Scottsdale one of the most desirable places to live in the United States. We enjoy more than 300 days of sunshine each year and have one of the largest urban preserves in the country with more than 200 miles of hiking and biking trails. The city blends outdoor living with incredible dining, art, culture, golf, and a walkable historical town.
All right, go ahead and pause that.
Offers a lifestyle
Have you tried to
simple,
just film the
unwinding
video
trails in
on green
Arizona.
screen?
Scottsdale is
Yeah.
What?
Have you tried to just film the video on a green screen and then just put yourself with that background? Or what is the AI doing? Or what is that company doing?
so what the company is doing is just taking a script so I create a script with ChatGPT, and
Yeah.
and then what it does is it takes the um, it takes that script and makes an avatar that looks like me and sounds like me talking.
Got it.
And
So you don't film this yourself. You just type the script, put it in this Synthesa. They create the bot, and the bot's what we're seeing here.
yes.
Got
And
it.
then what
Okay.
I do is I take B-roll that I already have because I don't have time to go out and shoot video every single day. So I take video that I've shot over the last 3 years and I just try and piece something together that looks natural in the background.
Got it.
I was trying to get stuff that's exact, but it's
Yeah.
just too hard to do. And so this one, this doesn't exactly follow, what we're looking at is images of Scottsdale and places that are nice, but it doesn't exactly follow the script. And I just, at some point in the future, I might be able to go out and shoot a bunch of B-roll about something exactly, and then have the avatar go ahead and talk about, it'll be, I guess, a little more accurate. But right now, what I'm trying to do is just learn how to do all this stuff. It's a little bit on the complicated side,
Yeah.
but I've got it working now to where I can actually get stuff done in a pretty timely manner.
That's
I
cool.
mean, I hate being in front of the camera. And
Yeah.
so when you say, I've got a teleprompter, I've got a green screen, and I still screw it all up. And
Yeah.
so for me, just being able to type out a script and have something that is somewhat realistic show up and say, why would you want to move to McCormick Ranch? Why would you want to use a realtor? Why would you want to move to Scottsdale? This is probably as good as I'm going to be able to do with my fear of being on camera.
And then you mentioned you have multiple YouTube channels, and you have multiple Instagram accounts and multiple Facebook accounts on different, Scottsdale
Yeah,
area.
so what I did originally, because this is what was suggested, is I set up 3 Facebook profiles, one for business, one for friends, and one for family, and would post different content on each of those depending on who I was talking to. So my family, sometimes I wouldn't want them to see what I was doing, and same thing with the business side. All that stuff is kind of blurred together now to where the 3 accounts basically get all of my content. I then also, as I got listings at Verona condominium homes, they didn't have a Facebook page, so I created one. And I get calls all the time with questions about Verona condos. And so I've got that, and I haven't been posting prior to this contest. I hadn't been, posting a lot of content to that, but I am now. And the same with Kierland Greens condominiums. They didn't have a Facebook page, so I created one to sell a listing I had in there. And since then, I've sold a bunch of homes. And then, I'm the broker for Lincoln, Arizona, so I created a Facebook page for that. And this is my main Hankerson team page, is my main business page. And then I lived for a long time in McCormick Ranch, and I created a couple of pages about McCormick Ranch. One is the neighborhoods of Cochise Elementary School, because it's a really, really good school and people want to move there so their kids can go there. And then Paradise Park is just one subdivision in McCormick Ranch. And so if I create something like I can't see where it is. If I create something like a flip book about Discover Kierland or Discover McCormick Ranch, I then can, so I've got a flip book called Discover Scottsdale. And then McCormick Ranch is in Scottsdale. So I just took that 24-page book, added a few pages about McCormick Ranch, and it came up with a 32-page book. And then there's a new build there that I don't have the listing for it, but I created actually a separate flip book just about that listing. And within that flip book, you've got the video tour of the home that I shot. And with this particular video.
Hi, it's Michael Hankerson with Hankerson Team Luxury Division. Please join me on a tour of this amazing McCormick Ranch home.
And so what I did, this is a video, and this is a lot more natural than what I'm doing. And that's why I was hoping kind of at some point in the future that the videos of me are going to look more natural, because the videos, that avatar there, that female that's talking about what's in the home is actually very natural. And so I thought, well, if I get started doing this stuff now, when the AI improves to where it works better, I'll kind of have a head start over everybody.
Have you ever seen Tommy Boy, the movie?
Yeah, but a long time ago.
So go watch it again and listen to Mr. Zelensky talk about his auto parts. Now go ahead and play the beginning of your video again. If anybody out there could relate to Tommy Boy, I want you guys to listen to Mr. Zelensky here.
Hi, it's Michael Hankerson with Hankerson Team Luxury Division. Please join me on a tour of this.
That's good.
McCormick Ranch.
Yeah. Now go watch Tommy Boy.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Craig with the jokes.
It's good.
Well, okay, so kind of going back to the social media part, this is a good way. I know I've had a few phone calls set up with you guys and that it's really difficult to get on camera. I think this is a good way to get on camera, but obviously not yourself. You're able to kind of script it out. You don't have to memorize lines. And until you do get comfortable on camera, you're able to get some content out there that shows face. When it comes to all of these different accounts and all of these niche specific platforms, do you have an idea of what kind of content you're getting before you film it? Or is it kind of just day by day? Do you cycle through educational and then fun content, or is there a system to it?
Well, when I was doing the one a month, it was basically I would go on the luxury home tour, pick a home that I thought, like a new build, and film it. And then instead of going to the rest of the homes, I would go back to my office and spend 4 hours editing the video, uploading the video, posting it to all those accounts, and then doing the blog and doing the same thing. And now with the goal of one per day, I really have to kind of come up with an idea every day. So last time in the meeting, Craig said, why Canyon Lake? And so I'm like, well, I've already got a ton of video footage of Scottsdale and McCormick Ranch. So I'm like, okay, let's do a why Scottsdale video. And then the next day I did a why McCormick Ranch video. And when I was doing the McCormick Ranch, I actually trained my GTP with 11 articles I had already written about McCormick Ranch. And so I'm probably going to, didn't finish that McCormick Ranch one yesterday, but when I do that today, I'll then actually immediately do another one on McCormick Ranch. I'll ask the ChatGPT, based on the 11 articles I gave you, come up with a couple more ideas for videos. And then it's going to give me a script. And then we'll just kind of go through that whole process where it creates a script for me. I have Synthesa do the avatar. I then put in some B-roll that I've already got, and then upload it in when ChatGPT. I've got it now where it is a system where I tell it, here's the topic, here's an idea about what I want you to come out and say, and then I'll say, okay, create a 10x viral SEO friendly title for my video and description for my video. And the reason I'm kind of copying what Chris Smith was doing, where he says, if you tell it 10x then and viral, then it's going to think about it a little harder, and it's going to come up with a better title for you and a better description for you. And so those are some things that I've kind of added in. If you want to see for the chats, what I did is I actually created 4 of my own GPTs. So the first one I did was the Hankerson team brand director. And oh, oops. Okay. So if you want to create your own GTP in ChatGTP, there is something called Explore. And if you click on Explore, there's the button right there where you create your own GTP.
Hey, Michael,
GTP.
it's Chat GPT.
I know. I keep saying it wrong.
Okay.
So, sorry, go ahead, continue.
So here's how you create your own. It just asks you a million questions. And when it's done, you don't necessarily have anything that's useful. You need to train it.
Mhm.
So if you want to take a look at one that's got a bunch of work into it, this Hankerson team brand director, if you go into the configure here, you can see I've actually got 10 documents in here with that's over 1,000 pages of content. I started by uploading individual documents and found out that there was a 20 document limit. So when I wanted to upload all these Tom Ferry things that I've downloaded over the years, I had to put them into one document. And when I wanted to take a 3
The internet on
it
this.
can be trained on. And then these are the instructions right here. And to get the instructions, it's either it's saying my internet connection is unstable. You guys still have me?
Yeah, we do. You just cut out a little bit, but we got you back.
Okay. Okay. So anyways, what I do to train this is I just ask ChatGTP, what do I do? And then it will give me instructions, and then I'll just post them in here. And that's how I ended up doing it. And I've got a publicly facing um, um, GPT. And if you go in right now, and this was really hard and took me 2 full days to get this done. But if you say learn,
Frustrating.
it took a couple of days to get it done. Um,
Hey, Michael, you cut out just like for the last 10 seconds. What did you just say?
well, so this is a publicly facing GPT.
Okay.
And what I wanted to do is be one of the oh,
I didn't know you could do that.
okay.
I didn't think it would be a public. So when you say public facing, is this where
That means if you go into ChatGTP, say explore,
I
and
can
you
find
say
your,
Hankerson Hub,
gotcha.
anybody can get this. Okay, so anybody has access to it. It's not something that's hidden from the internet. It's available to anybody.
And so do you find this effective if clients or leads are trying to find something specifically in your area and you can just send them a link to your hub and they can search and have the prompts already kind of in place?
So what I'm doing right now, and it really stemmed from Kobe saying you need to get your bio redone and out there everywhere on the internet, is I wanted to have a way where I could control if someone said, I want to know about Michael Hankerson, it would spit out that bio.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is the bio that I just did. And when I created the Hankerson Hub and I uploaded my bio, it would still spit out random things like showing scary people that weren't me, but maybe had my last name, and then giving some information that was true about me and some information that was not true about me. Right now, I've got a place where this is available to everything. And so at some point in time, Google might index this. At some point in time, people might go on ChatGTP and say, who is Michael Hankerson? And it brings up the Hankerson Hub and gives them my bio exactly as I want it to be depicted.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so that was the purpose. I don't know if it will do anything, But I was, when Craig was talking about Google, in 2000, I was one of the first people to have a website selling Sun Microsystems computer where you could just call up and order it. And we got a call from the Naval Surface Warfare Center, and my assistant said, "Hey, how did you hear from us?" And she said, "Google." And I didn't know what Google was, but all of a sudden I was making money because I had built a website that nobody else had. I was selling computers where you didn't have to call. You call in to get a quote. You could just buy it online. And I started getting orders and made an enormous amount of money over the next 10 years because I was one of the first people to do it. And so that's kind of what my idea here is that not really many real estate agents have videos where you've got an avatar, whether it's me or a female, walking through the house saying Sub-Zero 300 bottle wine cooler as you, for 1 second, walk by that wine cooler. I think if it was just music set to that video tour of the house, you would miss that. A lot of people would not notice that wine cooler. And so that's what I want to be, one of the first people that is using GTPs, setting up my own GTP, using avatars, and no other realtors are doing it right now. And that one tour of the $8 million home with the avatar in it, it's only got 21,000 views, but it's actually 600 hours of viewing time. It's one of my top 4 performing videos. And what's happening is people are watching the content longer, maybe because it's more interesting.
Definitely.
And I want to recap a couple things. So you're using ChatGPT. Have you tried Grok or Gemini or any other AI?
I have, and I don't understand it.
Okay.
And I am trying to get good at one thing at a time.
Fair. Yep. So you're using ChatGPT, that Synthesa. What was that called?
Uh-huh.
And then
Yeah.
also, and then you're using Publu for your flip books.
Yeah.
And then that Synthesa is editing your videos for you with your bot, right? Or are you
Yep.
doing any editing on your own?
Well, no. I still bring everything into
Okay.
Adobe Premiere Pro. That's where
Brilliant.
I mean, I think Synthesa has a way of doing it, but I just am really familiar with Premiere Pro. And so
Okay.
that's why, I know that Link uses Canva, and I'm so familiar with all the Adobe products that I just do everything on my own, because it's faster for me than trying to use some other program. And so that's where, again, I have a workflow. It's efficient, a lot more efficient than it was 2 years ago, and I just don't want to change things. I just want to get better at what I'm doing.
No, that's totally
Definitely.
fair. And then one thing you mentioned too is your profile and being discoverable. When people are searching for either your name or in Scottsdale or Arizona, they're going to find you on ChatGPT or on an AI search. And so if you have your profile and your branding set up across all profiles, not just for AI, but your Google profile, your Apple profile, your Realtor.com, your Zillow, and then go into each of these different AI search models or search engines and create your branding within these systems. So when yes, you got to go out and do your YouTube. Yes, go out and do your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all those platforms as well. But just again, be discoverable across many different platforms. And I think that's what you're really hitting at, Michael. Is really cool to see you being like on the forefront of this and being proactive and not reactive to all this, because this is rad to see you doing all this. It's cool.
And I kind of want to piggyback off of Craig there. That was my next point is I know you mentioned you do blogs for the Hankerson team as well as Arizona Outdoors or AZ Outdoors. And kind of just tying everything together. Kobe and I were talking about this earlier, blog post on your website when people go to search up top 5 restaurants in Carlsbad or a certain area and you have high ranking within your website on that blog post, they're going to see that website, and whether they're looking at the restaurants or maybe they are interested in real estate, it all kind of ties itself together. So I think it's really cool that you're doing blog posts as well and doing it consistently.
Yeah, and I need to do more of the stuff that Craig was talking about. I need to do more of the restaurant stuff and more of the neighborhood stuff. Um, a lot of my focus has been luxury home tours and market updates. And I need to get away from that and start doing more stuff about why Scottsdale is one of the best places to live in Arizona. And that's the thing that I'm kind of trying to do with this contest is say, okay, here's what I've been doing. Let's do something different and let's try and be more discoverable.
Definitely.
Yep. And there's so much out there that, we're just scratching the surface on this AI front. When it comes to obviously your searches, your on the ChatGPT side, the Grok side, Gemini, whatever, there, comes to video editing, when it comes to posting, when it comes to content creation, there are so many things out there that, if you guys have some suggestions or things that you think we should talk about or look at, please let us know and we'll bring it into this conversation.
Kind of bringing it back to the, excuse me, the ChatGPT, kind of on a more surface level, I think it's really important what Michael's doing in terms of creating his own hub is when you go into ChatGPT, and this is something we recommend to get ideas for content, if you don't save your searches or create a hub like Michael has here, it can get repetitive to create prompts for ChatGPT to come up with these ideas. And if you already have it kind of saved in here, it's going to know the ideas that it's already put out to you. So week by week, if you're trying to come up with ideas, you can go back into your hub and get a list of all new ideas, and it's going to continuously learn what kind of content you want to get or you should get. So I think it's cool that you're doing this, but it's also super efficient when you're trying to come up with those ideas week by week.
And also, if you don't want it to learn, or if you don't want the same repetitive answers, there's also a way to search fresh, where it won't go back and kind of look at your past searches or your past content. And I think that's up in the right-hand corner of ChatGPT. You can kind of start a blind conversation almost. And it won't even be recorded into your left-hand taskbar. So if you guys can do that as well, if you want to just fresh information. But yeah, cool. What else?
Um,
Are there questions? Have you looked in there? Who has questions?
yeah, we can jump into Q&A here. I know there was a couple. Big question. Sue is asking, has this turned into any leads or sales with all the content you're doing, Michael?
Well, it hasn't yet, except the other day I got a call from a realtor because she thought I was still the designated broker for a different company, and she wanted to give a seller lead to somebody within her own company in Arizona. And I offered to do it. She said, no, thanks. I'm going to find somebody from my company. Immediately, I sent her my flip book on Kierland because it was near the listing. She didn't tell me exactly where the listing was, but she kind of said it was in that Kierland area. So I sent her the flip book about Kierland, and 15, 30 minutes later, she called back and said, nobody from my company will pick up the phone, and I was really impressed with your flip book. Here's the listing. And again, when I went out to the listing, I showed the guy a flip book and said, hey, I'm going to make one of these about your house. And so if you have content that is immediately available, so you get off the phone with somebody and you immediately send them a video about what their question was, immediately send them a flip book about the area, you instantly have credibility with that person. So you can immediately send out an email, you can immediately send out a text, and you just went from having a 2-minute conversation with someone to where now you actually have a lot of credibility. And I think the more content I produce, if somebody calls and says, I'm looking for a realtor for McCormick Ranch and I'm going to talk to 3 people, when I get off the phone with them, I could send them videos, blog posts, flip books, all about what they ask me about. And none of the other realtors that they interview, if they call 2 more people, none of them are going to have that type of content to send them to show them that you're an expert in the area. And I understand a lot of stuff is based on relationships, and you got to have that really good conversation with them. But I also think that having content specific to what they're interested in is a good long-term strategy.
Yeah, and I want to double down on that because I think this is a great tool and the future. I think video is going to be a big push in the future. I think YouTube is going to be huge. The pay per click on YouTube, just like the pay per click on Google, all of these things are just the arrows in your quiver. Don't rely so heavily on one thing. So this takes time to get some traction. So you've been doing this since 2022, and it's starting to bear fruit. Kyle Wynn in our office has been doing YouTube for a while, and he gets 30% of his leads come from YouTube. So use this as an arrow, not as the end all be all, because I still think when it comes to our industry, it's all about your network and focusing there first and foremost. And if you can somehow, when it comes to the marketing side, whether it be AI, whether it be YouTube or social media, whatever that is, again, don't discount any of it. Do it all, but really focus on what works for you, and then learn. Like what Michael's doing is he's learning all this stuff firsthand and learning how to use it all. And so, don't put all your eggs in this one AI basket, but I do think it's a basket worth exploring. And that's my push for the next probably year or so will be on the AI and video front, like what Michael's doing right now. So I'm sorry, what was next? The flip book. He was using Publu, Publuu for his flip book.
Yeah, Ben asked, or not Ben, Sue asked.
Yeah, and one of the things too that's interesting is, up until probably a few weeks ago, if you searched for Hankerson team, because there's football players with the last name Hankerson and they're on a football team, you would have some information about me and you would have some information about football players. Now I've got so much content out there that it is only about me. And
Hmm.
then all of the stuff that I'm posting to Facebook and whatever, I'm also doing a Google update. So you could say add an update, and then you can have a link to the YouTube video or a link to the blog post. And so I'm, from what I've seen, I'm getting from Google, they're actually sending people to these pages. If you go in and look at your analytics based on me doing these updates. And
Okay.
so doing these, add an update to your Google My Business page actually does work for getting content out there. The other thing that I hadn't mentioned, and I don't know if we've got time, is in these flip books, I've got maps. This is a Google map. And if you open the Google map, it'll actually give you directions to get to the golf course or the hospital or the restaurant or whatever it is. And the interesting part about this is if you go into the Google My Business and you look at the analytics, 500 of the people, I think about 500 of the people that got to me through Google Maps. And so I don't know if it's me putting these maps in the flip books and people clicking on those or something else, maybe searching for a realtor near Fashion Square Mall. But a bunch of the people that got to me or got to this page actually got to it through maps.
Gotcha. Okay.
And something you just brushed over and mentioned on your Google My Business page. So that's one thing I want to let everyone know. The updates on that page, I think, are as important as posting on your social media pages. So keep your Google My Business page as often or post on that as much as you post on your social medias, because that's what Google's looking for is its own content.
Hmm.
All right, what's next?
Sue also asked if you are a team or a solo agent.
I say team, but I'm a solo agent. So I at some point in time I will have agents as part of a team, but right now I just am doing it on my own.
Okay. Ben, we do post these recordings to our school platform, but I can also, once I edit this, it might be a large file, so I would recommend just going to our school platform under Tuesday trainings to see this recording. Let's see. Just a tip, Gemini's integration with Google's tools is underrated. I recommend people trying it, not only ChatGPT, because Google is by far #1 search engine. Do you know, is Gemini Google's
Yeah.
chat? Okay.
Mhm.
That's a great tip. And then Brenda asks, how much time per day do you allot for this? Also, does anyone help you post all these on all of these accounts that you have, or do you just pick and choose which ones per day?
I don't have anybody helping me with this, and I just pick and choose my own.
Do you
And as
post?
far as the time goes, what I would like to do is get this down to an hour or two. Right now, it's still probably taking me 3, 4 hours, and sometimes it takes me all day because I'm trying to do something more like summarize 11 articles on McCormick Ranch and get them integrated into the memory. So if you say, tell me about something specific in McCormick Ranch, uh, my hub will actually give the answer that I want it to give. And so I'm spending too much time, but it is the holidays. The listing I had, we're resetting it for the 45 days off market so that January 2nd we can come on with 0 days on market. And so I don't have any houses to sit open. I don't have any buyers that want me to take them around and show them houses. And so if I spend too much time on this right now, I think it's worth it to me because I think it will get me business eventually. It's just, anyways.
So more specifically with the content using what was it called?
Synthesia?
Synthesia. I know you said you've gotten B-roll over the past few years, but actually typing out the script and creating these AI generated videos for the social media, do you know how much time you would say per day or per week? Do you pick a specific day and just punch it all out in 6 hours or?
No, I just do one a day
Okay.
because I get frustrated with the results. And, so like if I give it my phone number, 602-770-7205, and I don't do it the right way, it'll say 72,005 or
Hmm.
7,205. And so to me, I don't want to punch it all out in one day. That would be great if I could get it down to 1 hour. And I just say, okay, every Monday I'm going to spend 8 hours doing this stuff. And then I've got the content for the rest of the week. But the workflow doesn't work for me like that.
Hmm.
And so if we go into this and say edit, so this is how basically what it looks like. And so I just put this script in and choose a green background because the background was removed. But for me in Adobe Premiere Pro, the easiest way to get rid of a background is just to have it be green.
Right.
But see, if you look down at the bottom, it says call or text me at, and I spell it out, 602, 770, 7205. Thanks for watching and have a great day. It took a long time to learn, and it's still just about every time I do a script, it has something to where it's pronouncing it wrong, whether it's a zip code or a phone number or whatever, and it's really frustrating. So I
Hmm.
can get ChatGPT to give me this script in about 5 minutes, but to actually get this video done to where it doesn't have obvious mistakes in it takes about an hour. And I can be doing other things while I'm doing this, but it takes about an hour before it gives me something usable.
Okay. It's a bit of a learning curve then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jordan, let me ask you this. So as far as AI automation for posting, have you heard of N8N, or what do you use to post on multiple platforms? Or do you know of anything?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
We use OneUp, and that actually was a question I was going to have for you, Michael. Is are you using an API that where you're able to schedule out? Because I know you have at least 10 Facebook pages, and there's like probably 15 or 16 different accounts that you post on daily. Are you doing it one by one on each account, or do you have something like OneUp or Sprout Social where you're?
I'm doing it again. I just have a workflow that works for me. It may not be as efficient as it could be, but part of what I'm doing with ChatGTP is I'll say, give me the 10x viral SEO friendly title and description for YouTube. And I've heard from multiple people that you don't want to put that same information into Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and Google My Business. So I actually tell it, okay, once I'm done with the YouTube, I say, now I'm going to post it to these other accounts. Give me an optimized post. And it's different for every single platform. And so I'm going in, I'm copying the optimized for Facebook from ChatGPT, and that's what I post along with the video. I have it optimized for LinkedIn, and it says, here's a more professional tone for this. Here's here's a better thing for Instagram. So I know it would be more efficient if I had one, if I did it your way, but for me, I think it might be better in the long run to do it individually. At some point in time, if I'm making a ton of money, I could hire an assistant. I can get somebody else to be doing this. I could maybe automate some of this. But right now, there's so much learning going on to where, I didn't have a GTP until 2 weeks ago. I used ChatGTP for the last 2 years, but I didn't have my own GTP until a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't using Synthesa until a month ago. And so a lot of this stuff is brand new for me, and I'm kind of learning as I'm going. And again, the goal would be is not to spend 4 hours at it, to get it dialed into where I'm only spending 1 hour.
Okay. Well, we've got a couple more comments here. Kyle's saying he was on the phone, but he heard Craig mention his YouTube channel. He's done $50,000 plus in GCI from YouTube this year alone, plus an additional 60K in GCI from past clients who have originally come to me from YouTube. And most of my videos are at least a couple years old, so I need to get back to posting consistently. Ultimately, YouTube is a great lead source with a high lead conversion rate.
Yeah, video is going to be huge for being found either on AI or in your Google searches. So you don't sleep on YouTube or AI for that matter, but YouTube is going to be, I think, a big play.
Sue is also asking, she said she loves the Publu
Yeah.
content. She's asking, is it user friendly and what's the cost for using the platform? Which one of all of your avenues is bringing in phone calls from possible sellers or buyers if you had to choose one? So two questions kind of there.
I think my sphere of influence, seeing my content on Facebook, is probably the number one thing that drives business to me. And it's funny because the people that are calling, they don't comment, they don't like, they don't do anything. But when I talk to them, they're saying, "Oh, I saw this, I saw that," and so people are looking at it. People are enjoying it, and I sent an email out to a guy I haven't talked to in a couple of years. My bad. And he just sent me back a response to an email I sent out that said, I know I haven't ever said this to you, but I read every one of your emails and I really enjoy them. Thank you very much. And so, so that would be that. With Publu, basically what it's doing is it's taking a PDF from me. So I create the content. You guys, I guess you could create it in Canva. I'm using Adobe InDesign. I turn that into a PDF. You upload it to here, and then once it's here, you can go in and embed things. And so
Videos and maps, yeah.
yeah, so basically on page 2, that's an embedded YouTube video right there. And so I took a PDF, which you can't put videos in, and then uploaded it to this. And then now I can put videos in here. Basically, within InDesign, I've got links to my Facebook account, my Instagram, my YouTube, my LinkedIn, and my Google My Business page. And then it keeps all of those things in here. So when I create that PDF, I say create it with the hyperlinks, and then those hyperlinks come forward. So, a link to my website, a link to schedule a call with me. I can embed the videos. And so it's very easy to use. It's very user friendly, but you're going to have to create a PDF with some.
We lost them again, but also look into Hazine, HEYZINE.com. Very similar to, or I'm guessing very similar to what he's using for Publu.
Sorry, we lost you there for a second, Michael. How much are you paying for Publu?
I think it's about $20 a month. so
Okay.
it's not too much.
Okay.
Synthesis is expensive. It's 80
Mhm.
bucks, but Publu is pretty cheap.
Can you make your Sasquatch on your Sasquatch or your Yeti?
The talking Yeti.
Oh yeah, yeah. They've got I think that Sora is the thing that
Yeah,
is
Sora.
popular that everybody wants right now, but
That's the
they
animal
won't
thing,
allow you
right?
to have a one of yourself. You can just basically give it a picture of you and put like your head on whatever,
Yeah.
but you can't actually uh, upload a video of you talking and then have it turn into an avatar. It's something that's probably going to come in the future, and it may. I think that everybody right now is fighting to come up with the with the best solution. And I know that one of the places I tried was HeyGen, which is what Chris Smith is doing to make a lot of his podcasts now. And I tried it and it just was horrible. I mean, literally, it would have my arms flapping up and down like I was a bird, and it uh, instead of I had these smiles at the beginning of my video and the end of my video, and it was hard. It basically just had me scowling the whole time. It looked like I was angry.
Hmm.
And so I think and they canceled, they gave me my money back. And then a couple days ago, they actually got I got an email from them, not to me, but to everybody, that just said, look, we're removing gestures from our platform. If you have a video, it's still good. But what we're going to do is try and focus on having people look more natural, have natural hand movements, have natural face things. So the different platforms out there understand that a big fake smile is a big fake smile, and somebody standing, perfectly
Mhm.
still through the whole video looks really fake. And so they're gonna, at some point in the future, probably the near future, they're gonna have stuff that's much more realistic. That's like that stuff that you see on Sora that's going or Sora that's going viral these days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're at the again, I think the beginning stages, the infant stages of AI and its capabilities. I know there's a lot of scary things going on with AI and what it can do, and machine learning, and the whole Terminator idea and machines taking over, which I don't think we're too far off. So um, I wouldn't say worry about AI, but definitely get involved in it, because it's definitely going to benefit the agents that do take advantage of it, like Michael's doing right now, and help you guys with workflows, with content, with posting. I mean, you name it, AI is there as a resource. I don't think it's going to necessarily take over our industry or our jobs, but definitely the agents that do utilize AI and all these different tools will have the advantage.
I agree. I think having some sort of familiarity with it, whether you use it on a day-to-day or not, but just being able to use it as a tool, kind of going back to Michael's blog posts and the flip books, having available content that you can get out there to leads, and just having some sort of digital presence online.
Yeah. And again, just to reiterate, like I think like what Sue said as well, is what works for you is what works for you. Don't shift and go all in on AI or all in on social media. If your network or your sphere of influence is what gets you paid, don't shift from that. But you then just use this AI and video and YouTube and other things as different tools. But for me, it's my sphere of influence. Like, I can't abandon that. This is just an interesting world for me, and so, like Michael, I'm learning all I can right now on all this stuff. So good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I produce something interesting, I'll just text it over to someone who might enjoy it. So, or text it over to someone like I've got a brother and sister that I just helped sell a house for. He's an agent that works for us. Um, uh, and after I sold the house and made almost nothing on it because I was doing him a favor, the sister doesn't want to use me to go buy the next house, because she thinks that it's better to go into an open house and buy it from that agent.
Hmm.
And I'm saying buying, finding the home online and going into an open house is the easy part. The hard part is negotiating the price, the terms, the repairs, the appraisals, all that stuff. So I actually made a video and a blog post about it. Andrew suggested that I was a little too hostile. So I made a more gentle version of it. So that's why we've got two things here. Don't make the mistake, which Andrew thought was not good. And then how to save money when you're buying your home, where I'm trying to explain my value proposition. But I actually used a problem that I was having with someone saying, you don't have any value. I'm going to go to an open house and buy a home, to where I'm actually succinctly, in a video. So this is the way my blog posts look. Basically, um, it's the video at the top of the page, and then me explaining what it is that I'm trying to say in a little more detail than the video gives. And so, but I actually use all of this stuff as a way of explaining to someone, no, I am more valuable and you're wrong.
And then on this blog post, where does this blog go? Is this your website?
Yeah, I've got a few websites because I have trouble with Playster's blogs. So uh I've got my Playster website that has the IDX that the company provided for me. Plus, I have three more websites about seniors, uh, epic adventures, and then touring luxury homes. And so these blogs are done through Elementor, which is an add-on to WordPress. And I can crank these things out really, really fast using this platform. And then basically these are going back and forth to different websites. I need to get a link on here to search for homes, and then that would go back to my Playster website with the IDX. But I went out and went to a dozen senior living communities and wrote articles on them. And so that's the services for seniors, just figuring that if somebody is thinking about moving into a senior living home and selling their home, which is what I want to do, that having articles about that. So when I send out a mailer to somebody, it's going to have a QR code that says, if you or somebody you know wants to is thinking about a senior living community, I've got articles on 12 of them. And so those are the types of things that, it doesn't directly get me business, but it again, it's like, okay, when they're moving into the senior living community, they're going to need to sell their home. And I can kind of tie those two
Lost them.
Sorry, we lost you on that last 10 seconds. I think when we pull up websites, it kind of interferes with the internet a little bit. We have a couple more questions here. Sue is asking how you rank so high on Google search. And I know we kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, but this is part of it, right? Having
Content.
so much content online, whether it's social media or Google My Business or your personal website, there's so much of you out there that you just automatically come up, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then Brenda Lou is asking for each of those different websites, I believe on this Hankerson one here, they're embedded within your website, correct? To external websites?
Kind of.
So you
So
have
within the Play Store.
Go ahead.
No, it's breaking up. Stop screen sharing.
Okay, go ahead and stop it.
I'm trying to do, it just kind of links back and forth. And so, so Tour Luxury Homes takes you to newhomes-az.com. And it's mostly new builds that are over $5 million that I've shot tours of. And then because making the blog posts is easy in this is where under market updates, basically I've just got all of the blogs that I'm doing about real estate are going to fall in here. And I have dozens and dozens of them.
Cool.
All righty.
Well, this has been our longest meeting yet. So thanks for your time, Michael. This has been fun, man. This is this is a new world for me, and I love learning about it. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you very much too. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will talk to you later. Hope you have a good rest of your week.
Okay, thanks.
All right, guys.
Thanks everyone for jumping on today.